Okay, then I start. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining this session. This session is about sustainability design smart advisor. My name is Ping Quan, Technical Director from Building System and Diagnostics or BSD. I'll run through our challenge statement for today lah. Before that, probably I'll just give you a quick intro of the company. We have been providing green building consultancy services for over 22 years. Actually, successfully delivered more than about 1,000 projects across Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, China, and other regions. So this project actually span residential, commercial, office, hotels, retail space, institutional buildings, industrial facilities, and data center. So what we have done is really focus on sustainable design perspective. And this is a website where you can find out more information for our company. We are not as famous as CLD, so I just give a quick intro on our company, a
The
short
challenge is clear.
video.
Climate change is reshaping our world. The opportunity is here to build a sustainable future. At BSD, we believe it's not just about building. It's about building generations, the philosophy that has guided us for more than 2 decades. BSD has delivered more than 1,000 projects, driving sustainable growth across Singapore and Asia. BSD delivers end-to-end solutions for a low-carbon future. From sustainability design and green certification to master planning, advanced simulation, ESG advisory, and training, helping clients navigate every stage of the sustainability journey. Let's shape a sustainable future together. Connect with BSD today.
Yes, so with BM Cycle 6, we look forward to actually working with solution partners to elevate our advisory services to the next level. So we have been accumulated over the years, we have done more than 1,000 projects. We have been accumulated extensive libraries of project documentation, all our data across multiple formats such as Excel, Words, PDF, DWGs, IFC models. All these data are quite scattered. While we understand that our knowledge base is very valuable to us, but currently in our database is all quite fragmented. So making the search for project design data very time consuming. While we try to documenting all this design thinking in our Excel format, but we understand maintaining and updating such a benchmarking data actually quite challenging. Also hindering our ability to able to consistently deliver high quality sustainability advice. So with this, we actually hope that through this cycle, we're able to develop a smart advisor help us to do the work better. Most of the time, in our traditional building delivery process, sustainability is often addressed at the later stage of the design, which reduces the overall impact and frequently result in the higher upfront cost to go green. For example, sorry, I go too fast. For example, in the typical land sale projects, where the government have a land sale, most of the case, the developer will actually want to look into maximizing all the sellable GFA or NLA. And from that, then the design will come to talk to all the various architects with various options. And based on that design concept, developer normally will decide on the certain schemes. And then the bidding process that where we decide the pricing will be priced. And a lot of cases, all these sustainable features actually come later phase. And a lot of cases at this stage, the cost to go green normally will be just a ballpark to put in 1, 2 to 3% of the upfront cost. So we see this is an opportunity to actually bring this advisory to come in earlier through developing of this smart advisor, making it for this smart advisor to actually come in front of the whole design intent rather than coming at the later stage of it. So our statement actually look into how can we actually build a sustainability smart advisor so that we can learn from our data and use it to learn from all the data across different formats that we have so that we can deliver accurate and real-time sustainable design advice and compliance checks to our project. We think eventually what we have in mind is we want to make use of this chance to develop a smart advisor that actually are trained based on actual projects and execution rather than all the general purpose LM models that you can see from the current available market. So through doing this, we actually can have actual data from design and also make use of the post-completion operation data to do the verify the performance together with the outcome. So what we think is this advisor should be very customized and very customized to the specific building design so that we can use it to bring upfront the advisory work. So by doing so, we can support the compliance check earlier and also provide the advisory in a timely manner without without a upfront significant cost to go green. So we think by doing so, it helps to actually help the industry to achieve a Singapore Green Building Master Plan 80/80 target. So the functional requirement, I think you can actually look at the documentation that we set up in the cycle. We want to enhance our productivity while provide the speedy advisory in terms of sustainable design. Of course, deliver all the high quality result with a very high confidence level by understanding, picking up all the data from our simulation, from our data. We actually hope that the requirement, the advisor can give us at least a 95% kind of confidence level in terms of advisory. And of course, we want to make use of it to able to allow us to do a lot of computational design in the very early design phase. These are probably some of the scenarios that I actually mentioned over here. Study a lot what if scenarios in order to minimize all the heat gain from the building, what kind of building configuration we should consider in terms of form, size, and orientation, the glazing materials, property, sizing. All these are the things that we can actually build up from the series of actual projects data, and we bring it in front to able to advise our project during different stage of project design. The technical requirement is important is able to actually ingest all the data in the way that in terms of PDF format, docs, Excel, IFC, DWG format, and actually to connect all them together and train the model together. So as I mentioned, we have actually a lot of informations, and the smart advisor from the very start must able to do that kind of work to able ingest the data, learn from the data, and go through a streams of processes to build this smart advisor using all the Gen AI kind of algorithm. I want to go to a lot more detail about this technical requirement. Based on what we have, we ask around. I think this is something that we think is important that could be inside this core requirement for this functional requirement for this smart advisor. Okay, it's fast. So it basically need to link it together and able to apply this at our advisory work. And of course, we're able to detect all the regulatory compliance as well based on the data that we have. Our idea is not just purely to drive design, also by using this tool, we can actually do a bit of compliance check while we look into the detailed concept design to detailed design. Yep, these are all the requirements that I think is important for us. You can see our requirement could be quite a long list because I think when we develop this, we have this idea that what we want to achieve at the end is really a smart advisor that actually very functional, is very comprehensive, and able to take a long-term view, that able to have a flexibility and future proofing of what we supposed to do in the next development. The expected outcome, of course, is basically help us to improve our productivity in terms of our advisory, consistency in terms of advisory, quality of services to our customer, have a high accuracy in terms of the advisory so that we can infuse it in the advisory into our building design in our day-to-day work. And of course, actually give us an actionable insight on what we need to do in terms of design recommendation, changes we require, work with different stakeholders, architects, engineers to actually achieve the outcome that we want. Of course, at the end, we try to hopefully with this advisor, we can have early design, early inputs so that we can drive towards the supply energy efficiency with a lower cost. For the pilot testing portion, I think we probably can focus on the first aspect of the project, where we look at the ETTB compliance, talking about envelope compliance check. How should we design the building such a way that we can minimize the heat gain? And through this building, different forms and design, what are the options that could be done to consider so that we can actually use it to make use of this to offer our advisory to our to the project team at the early design phase. For this phase, actually, we'll offer the all the data, especially for the project that we have, and we'll probably do a trial for one of the residential project with the partners. Through this conversation, we actually have talked to one of the developer to actually make use of their project to actually test trial this project as well. And hopefully through this POC and pilot testing, we can actually ingest all these things and prove that it's something that is actually worth doing, and it really helps to change the way how we design sustainable building. For the commercialization, of course, what we have in mind is initially we will use it for our advisory work internally to strengthen our leverage of competitiveness in terms of advisory. When we have built the model and test is workable, and of course we can infuse a lot more aspect of it in terms of ETTV will be all the energy efficiency design aspect of it, from energy engineering design and all the aspect of it. And eventually we are thinking to work with the partners to actually commercialize these two together, where these two could be actually available for different building stakeholders such as architect, engineers, or developers for them to use. So that is not something that are customized and for limited to a few users. We think that with this trained model, this advisor could be quite powerful and very customized to local need, and if possible, it should be used for everyone in the build industry to actually move us towards the 80/80 target. That's what I have for my briefing. Anyone have any question? Maybe you can raise it up, then we can discuss further. Thank you.
Thank you, Ping Kuan. The floor, anyone has any question? Please type in your question. I think meanwhile, maybe to kick things off, Ping Kuan, maybe I'll just quickly ask you a question.
Yep, okay.
I think there is a very clear direction on the POC. Will there be, do you have any indication of what the success metrics be for that POC that you've outlined?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think we talk about the accuracy and speed of the result. We are referring to at least 95% accuracy in terms of the result. Of course, we'll put our resources to work with the solution partner to test the solution, review the outcome, advice from the solution that is coming up, and we'll validate with some of the project information. We can do a bit of calculations internally to validate whether the inputs and advice generated from the smart advisor are something that are within acceptable range. So we hope with all this, then be able to work together with the solution provider to achieve that. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you for that explanation. Once again, I think any question, please type in the chat box. Those who are looking at this challenge statement, please type in your question. Ping Kuan, other than that, are there any consideration that you would like to highlight in terms of readiness? I mean, there could be a lot of AI tool or compliance check tool that is probably not from sustainability background or even construction background. How would you view their attempt to solve this issue?
You are talking about the logic behind the tool?
yeah, probably they have applied in other industries or
Okay.
yeah,
Of course,
beyond.
the Gen AI tools could be other industry. The logics could be, we could use that logic to try to attempt to learn from all the data that we have. I think the key success factor really to bring all this technology, and we want to verify and test those outcomes from this Gen AI tool, whether really give us the correct information. So our research, we will work quite closely with the expert to really see what model are suitable for us for such application. I would think those Gen AI should be something that is in terms of technology should be something that is proven. It's just the logic itself. Then all the physics behind all this design, all the engineering behind is something that probably need to validate a bit and test a bit, where we will give our inputs and see whether uh, the Gen AI is really working. In terms of training part, I believe some domain expert knowledge need to be available. I'm sure because to do so, we need to put a bit of our resources to really work together with the provider to make it work lah. It's our interest to make sure the advisor give us a correct advice, because what we want to do is really firstly to capitalize on what are the information that we have based on the work that we have done. I know in our field of work, consultancy advisory is a know-how, but I think retaining all this know-how in the firm somehow is quite difficult. People can't go. Of course, there are only few guys that is really probably can retain this. So it's also our vision to really train this up, and so that we can change a bit of work way how we do our advisory work. Maybe the talent that we have is really not in terms of technical, but really project management, client management.
Understood.
And of course, with this smart advisor, that will help us to do our work better lah. That's what we have in mind at the moment. Yeah.
Got it. Understood. All right. I think there's no further question from the floor.
Okay.
I believe, yeah, you've been very clear in your presentation. And if there's any further question beyond this session, we will convey it back to you and then potentially get it answered. But we are looking forward for some submissions to come in during the early submission next week, and we will keep everyone updated on that. So thank you very much, Pin Quen, for sharing.
Thank you.
I will now just do a quick call to action for everyone here. So just want to flash the QR code again for everyone. So once again, please visit the challenge site by scanning this QR code